Hi everyone. Many thanks for joining me today. I want to say happy New Year to all of you. And of course, welcome to this special episode or this special edition of the Steady Abroad Stories of Hope. It actually starts, or this is actually the start of a brand new year, and there is no better time to seek inspiration and set bold goals. I'm talking about bold goals, things that you need to take informed steps or informed decisions. This is actually the time to do that for this month ahead. So today, I am actually thrilled to have a guest whose incredible journey will not only motivate you, but also to remind us of, all the power of resilience. I'm also here talking about education, and I'm talking about servant leadership. So joining me today is a man known as Mr. Ben Dotsei Malor. He happens to be the chief editor at UN News. What am I talking about? UN? I'm talking about United Nations News that is based at the United Nations headquarters here in US of A, New York. So his career has taken him from the BBC to the UN and even serving as Ghana's presidential spokesperson in the past. Now, along the way, he has worked in some of the world's most challenging environment, including South Sudan and Pakistan, always making an impact wherever he goes. Now, looking at the places I've mentioned, South Sudan, Pakistan, and compared to where you are living, you have a lot of resources to even move or a lot of resources to excel. But this is a man that has been to all these places, and then he has witnessed a lot of things. Lot of things. I am glad to have this man to join us today in this session. So as someone who is strongly or who strongly believes in giving back, Mr. Malor is passionate, or he is passionate about, empowering young people like myself here, like yourself, promoting excellence and standing against issues like corruption and inequality. Today, we are going to talk about his journey, his advice for young people dreaming of studying abroad, and how to start the year with a mindset of success. That is what that we are going to get into today. So, if this is your first time joining me here, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. So, in this edition, I want you to actually grab your notebooks, grab your pens, share this stream with your friends, and get ready for a powerful conversation to kick off this new year. That is what we are going to do today. So, if this is your first time once again for joining me, I want you to please get on board, share this link with someone, a friend of yours, a family member of yours, someone who is probably doesn't know about this streaming or doesn't know about this episode or doesn't know about what we are doing today. Just try as much as possible and then share this video with them. And I believe that with the things that we are going to discuss today, everything will be a blessing to you. So, with a round of applause, like how we do it in a chapel, right? Please join me and let's welcome Uncle Ben Dotsei Malor. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, McRay, and look, thank you for this energizing, and beautiful start to the brand new year. Thank you for the engagement here. We pray that over the next few minutes, not our voices, not our thoughts, but let the meditations of our hearts be used to have an impact on somebody, to be a blessing to somebody.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much once again for joining me. I want to, on behalf of my subscribers, my followers, and then your followers as well, we want to wish you a happy and prosperous new year to you, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you. And then we wish everybody who is able to see this, watch this, or join us. We just, let me put it this way. I have changed my greetings for the new year from Happy New Year to something more intentional, more purposeful. Happiness is good, but I believe happiness is too dependent on many factors. So one moment you are happy, next moment you are down. So what I am wishing everybody, number one, is great health, good health. We need good health. Number two, I wish everyone joy. I have a distinction between joy and happiness, and I will mention that in a moment. So, number one, I am wishing you, McRay, and every one of your subscribers or people who follow you great
Okay.
health. We need health
Amen.
to be able to do any other thing. Health, not just physically, but mentally, psychologically, and spiritually, we need good health. Then number two, my prayer is for joy. Joy is a valuable thing, which I will explain in a moment. And then maybe number three, I will just pray that we experience success and have that sense of gratitude,
Yeah.
constantly gratitude, even when things are not going well. And then before I just pause, the reason I want to wish people a healthy, joy-filled, and successful New Year is because I look at joy and happiness in this sense. I was in church recently and it just occurred to me, what is the difference between joy and happiness? And it just occurred to me in a moment that we look at two instruments that are most times in our rooms, a thermostat and a thermometer. A thermometer will rise depending on the temperature. Then the mercury reading will go up.
Correct.
And then when it's cold, it will come down. So it reflects the environment, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a thermostat. A thermostat is constant, predictable, solid, and it stays. What does a thermostat do? It regulates the environment instead of the environment regulating it. And for me, joy is like a thermostat. It's something you have, come rain or shine, storm, tough times and everything. You have something at the core of your being that is able to hold you so you don't lose hope. You don't get, as we say in Ghana, you don't get scattered. And people are wondering, oh, with all that she's going through, how come she hasn't lost it? Because at the core of your being is a certain joy, is the
Certain joy.
thermostat.
Yeah.
No matter the storm is regulating your environment. Happiness will come and go. Happiness is good. If I give you a gift now, you're happy. What if I don't give you a gift tomorrow? Then you are not happy. So
yes,
to everyone, great health to you in 2025, great joy to you in 2025, and great success on all fronts.
It's so actually intriguing that you share this thing with me, because it's something that I've also been thinking about when it comes to do with happiness and joy. You know, when people say that happiness, it depends on things happening around you, but joy is something that is from within.
Yes.
It's within. That is why the Bible didn't even say that the happiness of the Lord. It says the joy of the Lord is your
our
strength.
strength.
Yeah.
Joy
So
will
which
give you
means
strength in the storm.
Exactly, in
When
everything.
when you fail that exam, not because you are bad, but just because one of things, maybe you fell sick close to the time or other issues of life, joy will hold you together. Joy is seriously hooked to faith. And it doesn't mean you deny that things are not working, but you just have, I have joy. You have that joy. That can even be an attraction for happiness to join. So
Well, Uncle, once again, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a day, maybe let me even say the second day of this new month that somebody like you are family oriented. You probably may want to spend some time with your family or even be in the workspace, but you decided to join this large community to be a blessing to all of us, including me. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much. So we will just kickstart into this conversation. So if this happens to be your first time of joining me, please grab a pen, grab a notebook, particularly if you happen to be a youth. You have this desire of studying abroad, or maybe even to do something that you know that will be a big deal to you. However, it appears that situations, turbulences, or some other troubles are trying to limit your space. Please stay glued to this live stream at this point, because we'll be sharing things that will help you to break out of it. In fact, if you are there, let me hear you say amen. Okay. Uncle Ben, my first question to you today, talking about your career trajectory, right? This is nothing short of inspiring. From the BBC, to the United Nations and also serving as Ghana's presidential spokesperson in the past.
Yeah.
I want you to begin by, sharing a defining moment that solidified your path to becoming a global leader in communication. That particular thing, that was a turning point for you in your career trajectory.
Thank you again. It's flattering for you to describe me as a global leader in communication.
You are, no doubt you are.
Yeah, we try our best, and I tell people I'm still work in progress. A defining moment, it is difficult to pinpoint one particular moment. But I believe whether you are religious, you have whatever or not, there is something about faith. For me, if I can't give you a defining moment, but then a defining nugget that has helped me a lot is this nugget of faith where you can try and dream certain dreams. You can try and believe the impossible in a good way. You can try and say, I have failed. Okay, I understand that I have failed, but I have not accepted failure. I am not a failure just because I failed this one time, when naturally you should be down. But so for me, the defining nugget that has helped me, I have to say, has been my faith in God. And if somebody doesn't believe in God, whatever they have the faith in, faith that I can imagine, I can think certain things, I can wish certain things, and then find the way to realize those things happening. It's not every time I get it right. So I may not tell you a defining moment, but the issue of faith, you mentioned me moving from the BBC in 2003 and to come and join the United Nations in New York. What I can say is been a journey that I am looking back now, and I can talk about faith. Yes, hard work plays a part, ambition plays a part, God's grace plays a part. And one thing I will tell you is this: I am here, and you just described me as a global leader in communications. And I, with all respect and all humility, I say that it's flattering because I am work in progress. And I just want to cite three things. That I grew up in a village in the Volta region of Ghana. My dad died when I was 8 years old, and was left to my widowed mom, who had triplets. So in the town and in the community, people just referred to her by the title Mother of Triplets. In the her language spoken in my part of Ghana, in Togo, in Benin, in parts of southwestern Nigeria, the mother of triplets is called Donna, which means triplets mom. And so I grew up with this woman who didn't get classical education or formal education, but worked hard. When my dad died, she just took over his farmlands and farmed them. Nobody came to bother her, oh, you can't do this. So she was hardworking. So she would sell fish in markets, in Tadzavu, in Akachi. The older people called Akachi that time Monenu, which means a junction. Then at Bozuma. So she would do the fishing, trading business, and then in between doing the farming. So I grew up in this village in Ohabu. And when I say village now, the younger ones, they remonstrate with me and get upset that maybe the place was a village when I was growing up, but it's no longer a village.
Village, yeah.
I grew up there. The one thing I realized was either because my older siblings had books left around, I could flip through, not because I was reading. Nobody taught you reading in the village. You went to the farm. I went to class 1 and I was doing well. I was, excuse me to say, I was top of the class in class 1. To the point where there was the head teacher called Mr. De Souza. When I had to go to class 2, they jumped me to class 3.
Oh, okay.
So I skipped the next class, and I wasn't happy because, number one, I was scared that those in class 3, they know more already. And then my friends I was going to go to class 2 with, they had put me ahead of them, and it was destabilizing in a way. But I don't know what head teacher De Souza saw in me, and then he jumped me. And it's like I went to the back of the queue. I had to claw my way back. And by class 4, I was top of the class again.
Okay.
Yeah. So then class 5, I was maintaining that top of the class. And then going to class 6, Ohavu at that time didn't have a middle school. So they were going to find some people to start the middle school. And they felt they could also jump me from class 5 to skip class 6 and go and join. And when they say these things, you have to trust your teachers.
Yeah.
So even though nobody was giving me homeworks at home, by some grace of God, I was having these breaks. And then I went to middle school, Form 1, Form 2, again, top of the class. Then it was supposed to go from Form 1 to Form 4. Then you finish middle school. But then Form 2, they came and said, oh, we should go and do this exam called Common Entrance. And then some of us had never taken pictures before. Then they took passport pictures. And then they gathered us, the teachers guided us. Then we went to Akachi Teacher Training College. It is now the Akachi College of Education, which would have been some 30 kilometers away. So you have to charter a van or a bus, take us, and then we go write these common entrance exams. And then you just come back, you think you have 2 more years to complete middle school. And then the results come and you are one of the, I don't know how many of us passed that year, but in my class, I was the only one. I was in Form 2. I wasn't thinking, I just wanted to finish Form 4. But then I passed this common entrance exam, which then takes me out of middle school to go to secondary school or high school, which then means that I haven't finished anything in my life. I'm just skipping things. So,
oh my God,
I wasn't very excited that I passed the common entrance until there was an Greek officer in my village called Mr. Lavoie, who then came to my mom. And then my mom said, oh, I don't have money. I'm a widow, and he's gone and chosen Bishop Herman College in Pando, maybe some 120 kilometers away, in the same region, the same culture, the same people. But my mom was scared about sending me from the southern part of the region to the north, where she didn't have any relative. What would happen if I should go there and catch malaria and I'm about to die? So to her, I wasn't going. I should just stay and complete middle school and then get some apprenticeship. And she means well, right? Until Mr. Lavoie came and said, look, I'm going to help you. I'm already looking after some of my nephews and nieces. They're in Kitasco. Kitasco is not far from Ohavu. And definitely you have relatives. If he falls sick, you can even probably walk from here to Qatar. So Mr. Lavoie, I didn't know Mr. Lavoie. I see him from afar. But he knew that this young man had passed the common entrance and he didn't want to see me left behind in the village.
Okay.
That is how I didn't go to Bishop Herman. I loved Bishop Herman because it had the word college in it.
Oh,
right?
okay. Makes sense.
All the others were secondary schools. So, and Bishop Herman, that time, a Catholic boys' institution, where it was felt that when you sent your child there, that the boy was going to have no distraction from the young women, and most of them come out successful and go to university. Anyway, I went to Kitasco, from Kitasco to Maoli School for sixth form. That is pre-university. And then from sixth form, by God's grace, again on scholarship to Legon.
Oh, so you were on scholarship when you were going to Kitasco?
Kitasco, I started as a day student because my mom didn't have the money. So I stayed with an older aunt, an aunt I didn't even know existed until this challenge came. And the wider family is looking who is in Qatar that he could go stay with instead of staying in the boarding house where we can't afford the money. And then they found this wonderful, great, long lost, distant auntie of mine called Anna Novievo Mensa Macaulay. So if you grew up in Qatar and you know Keji Copper in Qatar, so she accommodated me, and I was a day student so that I wouldn't lose the admission to Kitasco, and I would walk from the house to the school until I started picking up again. Among the 120 of us in that cohort, I couldn't manage the first or second position. They were stronger, brighter. So, but I took consolation in the fact that I was at least top 10 and top 15.
At least you were somewhere.
I wasn't at the bottom. I was top 15. And then the headmaster, I don't know if he knew that I had lost, because I don't know. Anyway, I started getting bursaries right from the onset, because I think the bursaries were given to those in the top 10 and top 15 every time. And by the end of the second year, then I got a scholarship, which then moved me from my great auntie, Anna Novievo Macaulay, to then go to boarding house. And that opened many doors because there was structure in the boarding house. You could join with others to study, and I picked up in Kitasco. So that is part of the journey.
So from Kitasco, that was when you had to go to University of Ghana.
From Kitasco, I finished sixth form, Form 5, GCE, General Certificate of Education, ordinary level. And I did well enough to now go into sixth form, which is the 2-year General Certificate of Education, advanced level. I could have stayed in Kitasco to do sixth form, but I felt I needed a change of environment. So I chose Maoli. Also, so I chose Maoli School in the Volta Regional Capital. One other reason was that at the time you are, again, if somebody is listening to us, especially younger, you are thinking, what do I want to become? What do I want to do? And at the time I was thinking I could do medicine because the respect for doctors was just so great. It would be lovely to be a doctor. So I improved biology. I was very good in biology, very good in mathematics, physics I picked up. But chemistry was a weak point for me.
Wow.
There is a certain medical doctor, Dr. Saji Gamali Saji. He even ended up as a military doctor. And he would study chemistry, try and help me. I just found chemistry very hard.
Difficult.
Either to memorize. It's just because sometimes if you don't get a good teacher to introduce you to a subject, then you struggle. But this friend of mine, Dr. Gamali Saji, even we would go study together because he was much better. So suddenly you just realize, look, without chemistry, you're not doing this medicine thing. So after the ordinary level, I had to decide. So I started toying with the idea it would be good to be a pilot. No, this is the lesson.
For real.
Some dreams can change, right? Dreams can change. I passed well to go to sixth form, but I realized that this medicine thing, and again, so lesson number one, the dreams can change and evolve. There's nothing wrong with the dream as long as you're moving forward. You're not going backwards, right? The dream, number one, for me, I will advise my own children, nephews, and nieces, as long as you're working hard, you're moving in the right direction, everything will come together at some point. So, in fact, when I was in Kitasco, I remember one of our seniors in the boarding house would write on his boarding room locker, Medico or suicide.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, people were so determined to become medical doctors that you walk past that every day. Medicals. Maybe I was afraid not to try suicide. That's why I changed. Didn't want medical anymore. Okay. So the dream, number one, the dream can change as long as you're moving in the right direction. And then number two, lesson number two, which I desperately want to do as long as God gives me life, God gives me breath, to be able to go back to our schools and give career guidance. To tell a young girl who is doing very well in a particular way, not to pigeonhole them, but to look at the range of things to boost their confidence, to tell them, look, you're on the right track. You are doing well in this subject. This one you're struggling with. If you get good guidance, you will improve in the mathematics. And so career guidance is very, very critical. I cannot say, if I get the chance and I can stand in front of any group of school kids, I want to answer their questions. I want to tell them. In fact, point number three, when we were in Kitasco and even Mauli, the desire is that one day you would come abroad, you would travel overseas, you would come to the Western world, you would go to the UK, and you would go to the United States. These were some of the dreams we had. And today, I say that, look, I never in Kita Secondary School see someone stand in front of us and they'll say, oh, this person was in Kitasco just 5 years ago, or was in Antec, or was in Kitabusco or Mauli School or Prempeh College 5 years ago, but now she is studying in this university in America. You know, there are some things that you just visualize and you see, and it's more powerful than a book. So right now, even to go and stand in front of the children and be introduced to them as, oh, this man used to be in London. Oh, really? One day I would like to go to London, right? But you are seeing in the flesh somebody who is mirroring the dream you have, or somebody who is working in the US. So when I get the chance, particularly for Kata Secondary School in Mauli, I want to go there with a bank manager, with a military officer, with a pilot, with a medical doctor, a lawyer, and we like 6, 7 of us. And the thing to do is to just finance a day trip or 2-day trip, book hotels in my name, and we go there and we stand in front of these children, even if it's somebody who is a cleaner abroad but has managed to build a home in Qatar, in Ajido or Voja. I just want these people to stand in front of the young minds so that what they are dreaming of, you are seeing an example right in front of you. But then I come back to the goal of the dream evolving. Once I was struggling with chemistry, I struggled and I passed it. Now I am thinking, okay, let me try and be a pilot. What combination of subjects? And again, vaguely, I realized, oh, I've got good geography. My physics was good. My mathematics was good. So physics, geography, mathematics. That is a rather wild combination in those days. Either you are reading art subjects or you're reading science. And I'm just going to do this in the hope that somehow I would become a pilot. And Kitasco doesn't have that combination. So that was one excuse for me to then choose Mauli School, where I was allowed to read this combination of physics, mathematics, and also add an art subject, which was geography.
So at that point, the chemistry, you had to push it aside for now.
The chemistry, I've been meaning to go back once I get a very good tutor, but I haven't gone back yet. The chemistry was going to destroy my overall dream, so it had to be left aside, and I had to move on and become a pilot. So in 6th form, I studied mathematics, physics, and geography, and I enjoyed those subjects.
Uncle, I'm so passionate about this career guidance thing you just spoke about. Before this particular live, I'm telling you, by this, I was talking to a friend of mine called Sogah. I was just telling him that I'm looking for an opportunity. Maybe I may have to do these meetings virtually with young minds, as you are saying. Because growing up, I went to Antec. There was nothing like career guidance. Yeah, there was nothing like that. So at a point, I was toiling with things in my mind. What do I do? Okay, I'm going to do this. Then in the next semester, I'm going to change my mind again. And then I was getting so hard on myself. Like, because when I see my friends, particularly, I was from the Volta region, when they come from Accra to school, and you see how you feel like they are growing up in certain things, but I was just lacking. So I was so hard on myself. And it got to a point that I was like, okay, I don't know what to do anymore. Whatever life brings to me, that's what I'm going to do. But it wasn't supposed to be like that. So maybe if I had gotten this privilege, like maybe somebody who is a pilot, even just coming to my school to talk to me about this, somebody who has a business administration kind of methodology, somebody who has done something before, but this is the person standing in front of me talking to me. Look, I'll just picture myself, or even a pilot, I'll picture myself in that sort of uniform, like that is me flying this plane. The person talking to me, okay, if you want to become a pilot, this is the path. These are the courses you need to take. These are the internships you need to take. These are the summer educations you need to have. These are the goals you need to follow. There was nothing like that. So there are a lot of confusion. There are sometimes I'm thinking that, okay, our leaders, instead of toiling with education and health with politics, why don't they rather look at another picture? Guide the students, because I'm here in the US. I've had the opportunity to work with the international office here at the University of South Dakota. Students now want to travel. They want to come here and study. Some of them, they did something like biology in the past, but they were like, it was just the opportunity they got to do that. But they want to now do computer science. And some of them have had the chance to now get here. The amount of prerequisite courses they have to take just to suit that thing, they're like, I should have done something relating to data science or computing or long ago. But I'm like, so why can't our leaders focus and know where the lapses are, where the loopholes are, and try to seal those things rather than toiling with this young mind? So,
McRay, this is an action point. This is an action point for you and for me. Why can't the leaders, and I'm going to put this on me,
okay,
whether I like it or not, whether I choose to be a leader or not, in my own small, sacrificial, selfless way, you and I are the leaders who must implement this. And as you were talking, you just gave me this idea. When I went back one time, I was going to take one of our sisters who is a helicopter pilot. She's actually an old Mawulian. And she flew President Mahama one time from Accra to Cape Coast. So I wanted her to be in her, Air Force uniform.
Yeah.
And if she could come even with the husband and her child, I would rent or a hotel room in Keta Aborigines or Early Resort. And we go together. We go as a family. And then I wanted to stand in front of the children and just be introduced as, this sister you are seeing here is a pilot, right? So my idea is a group of us of various professions, teachers or nurses. Nursing is a big earner here in the United States. And we're going to need nurses. We're going to need nurses. Nurses are living very well here compared to back home where we don't really.
So much. I agree with you 100%.
So the idea about why not our leaders is just you and I deciding after this program that for Antec, for Tama Secondary School, for Sunyani Secondary, for Tamale Secondary School, you and I have formed this consortium of grateful village boys, if you could call it that way.
Yeah.
Or grateful, we are from the people, and we just decide that, look, if we can physically be in Ghana, we will get a big bus and just make this trip from school to school, because it's enriching for us also to give back.
Yeah.
We are going to give back, stand in front of these children. They will say, oh, this sister of yours is a nurse in Dubai or London, and here she is, but she was in this house, this hostel, in this school just a few years ago. Here she is now. We may not go there and say, oh, By the way, she's built a house in Temao, Sakumono. We just want to say she's to a degree successful. Or we say this brother, he's a mathematics teacher, but he's been teaching in Kyrgyzstan. And I have one brother like that from Aflau called Hilarious Seshi. He will go and teach in some of these places and teach mathematics.
Yeah.
And we want to be in front of these children to say, whatever you are aspiring to be, whatever the teachers are pushing you to be, look at us. We were like you, but now we are here. We are doing fine. We are not criminals. We are not begging anybody for money. We are paying school fees. We are paying hospital bills. We are buying laptops. And these are things we are able to do because of the education from Kitasko, Anglon Technical, Homauli, Biheko, or Prempe, or Presec, or Kukurantumi, or Kwesiminchim, or whatever.
Yeah.
We were like you. And just to look at us, if you are flagging, because my brother, sometimes, even me, I didn't have sometimes in the sands of Kitasko, if my mom goes to Akachi market and gets me a sandal, within days the sandal is the sand gets into the sandals and it comes off. And
That's
you are struggling, you know, you didn't have much. And so the point I'm making is we can, as an action point, begin to go back to our schools. We don't need people from just our region. The Cape Coast schools have a lot of successful people, Wesley Girls, Mfansipim. We can go to Sunyani. I would like to go to Sunyani because everybody tells me it's a well-planned city. We go to Tamale. It's a nationwide thing. And our purpose is just to go in front of these younger ones, tell them what has helped us to come through school, to come through times when we didn't have enough food to eat in Kitasko. I was borrowing money from one of my friends, Comla Geraldo, just to feed myself, not to go and make, but I didn't have enough money. Sometimes the gari is finished and you have to manage. So we go in front of these children, we showcase what they can become. The girls in particular, usually we leave the girls behind. The girls in particular, yeah. No, I'm coming from a house where my mom had girls. About 5 or 6 before.
I had 4. I still have 4. I have 4 sisters. I happen to be the only guy, the only boy, and I'm the last born too.
And you know, in a typical Ghanaian or ever or African home, there is this value placed on us, the boys.
Correct.
These sisters of mine, older sisters of mine, have contributed to my success. The only thing is they couldn't get the education, the formal education.
Yeah.
So when I see people and one of them reminds me every time about Oprah. She's so generous. She's so kind. All of them are successful. They build their own homes. They have their own families. But I just feel cheated myself that if my sisters had had the opportunity of formal education, can you imagine how I would have benefited? I would have been in secondary school and driving my sister's cars, maybe trying to pick up some girls or something.
But mercy located you.
Lord have mercy. So my sisters are good. They are not dependent on me. Their children are, whatever I can do, I will do for them. But I just feel, even as a boy, as their younger sibling, cheated, that if they had had the chance to go to school to become headmistresses, nursing sisters, engineers, lawyers, then I would even be boasting, look, my sister is the Supreme Court judge or something.
Correct. So yeah.
The girls must know. This is another lesson. Let nobody tell you the girls cannot do well. They cannot do this. And this is why I'm very, very happy that Ghana is going to get her first female vice president. Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. It's a great example. So last point, and I will pause because I have this weakness for talking. Even if you and I cannot get the plane fare to travel back home, you just spoke and gave me an idea.
Yeah.
Virtually, can we gather these children in a big hall, a big screen, and they are there, and we are here and they are there, and we link up 3, 4, 5 professionals.
Yeah.
And then we can have this. So what I'm thinking as you spoke is that it would be good to be there in person physically.
In person too, yeah.
But with technology improving now, our lack of resources to buy tickets to go to whether Pope John's or Secondary College or Tamale Secondary School or Nandom or whatever, we can at least virtually let them have a taste of us, ask us questions. Even as they are talking to us, let me show them the snow that is outside.
Correct. That is so true.
And then describe and fire up their imagination. Whatever they, even if somebody is lagging behind, maybe after watching us, they will take their classes more seriously.
Yeah,
that there is a better life for them. Yeah.
This is so inspiring, Uncle Ben. I can't wait for this thing to actually kickstart. I really cannot wait for it because it has been on my heart. Particularly, listen, even when I'm here in the office, and some of them even call me, particularly from Ghana. They're like, so in the office when somebody calls, like this is how I do it. When I pick the phone, like, hello, this is the front desk of Gallagher International Center, and my name is McRay, Sogah. The moment they hear the word Sogah, oh, are you from Ghana? Oh, I'm from Ghana too. And then they end up pouring, like they are just so, how do I put it? So happy to speak to one of their very own. Of their very own. And then the conversation sometimes try to get to like personal things. Bro, I need your help. I've been trying to get this happen. I'm like, oh man.
Beautiful.
So it will be so good to go back to these people because they will consider as their very own. I mean, so when we are talking to them, it will be a blessing to them as well. So Uncle Ben, I can't really wait for this thing to happen. Maybe we can get some other few people on board who are passionate like yourself for us to put this thing together. We said we're just going to have 1 hour for this.
But work with me, let's get it going. And then when we get the chance to even be there physically with them, they'll say, oh, so we saw you on the screen. But let's remove all the barriers. Let's make it happen for the good of our younger sisters, our younger nieces, our younger brothers who are still in secondary school.
Thank you so much, Uncle Ben. So if you're watching us right now, you are hearing what we're talking about, you want to be part of this initiative, giving us ideas, whatever it is, please put it up in the comment section. We'll be so glad to have you on board. We want to support the younger ones to have a taste of whatever that we are equally enjoying here. Some of them, this is what we are doing right now. Like Uncle Ben working at United Nations, me here in the US studying and doing some other stuff. These are some of the things that they equally want to do, but they just don't know how to do it, and then they are stuck in their limitations or around
the way, your comment section is buzzing, eh? I'm seeing your comment section.
It is so much.
Is here, Ofori Mausi is here, Edward Botre is laughing.
So much.
Hilton Boating Kakari, it is really possible. Emma Zowonu Wogbale.
It's so
very
much
inspiring. I will leave the rest for you to read. Albert Akwashi. So we are not alone. Oh, McRay, I didn't know you had great fans like this. Right now, I am in the comments. Kini Ruben Kwashi. And then there is a room finder in KNUST. Abobitadi and I did the magic. Oh, let me leave the comment to you because I'm getting carried away. Career guidance is very key in the basic and secondary school. I mean, so I agree with you.
Yes,
I mean, so I think I am under your orders.
It is a blessing, Uncle Ben. We said we will probably do just 1 hour, and this is just one question we were tackling, and then by the grace of God, something actually came in. I don't know, guys. If you want Uncle Ben, Dotsei Malor to come back again to finish up this session, please let us know so that we'll gladly bring him here. Uncle Ben, just before we get to what you study at University of Legon and then how you were able to find your way to UK to further your education, I just want to say thank you to everybody who is here. We have a lot of the comments, as Uncle Ben mentioned. McRay has been doing the job since for us. Oh, really? Okay, so MFA saying kudos. I have Noel also saying kudos. Somebody is saying I'm here too. Amen is still saying that, bro, your guest is worth hearing. I agree with you 100% and inspiring. Please tell him to also extend this initiative to the high schools too. Uncle Ben. Okay.
No, so we will do it to the glory of God. We will do it. By the way, let me pause you, brother. Sheila Kate Vanderpoy. I wanted to be a doctor too. Sheila,
as I'm speaking, that lady is here. She's here Richard in the US finally.
Oh, Richard Nyantechi, you schooled at Ohavu Agricultural College. That is the college in my village. And he says, I'm always impressed with the kind of projects this honorable man has done for the community, including the library and the IT center. Mr. Nyantechi, thank you so much. Hey, McRay, your family is here. Francisca is here. Princess is here. The Sogah family is here. Sheila
Everybody's
Kate is telling me
up.
Ohavu is no longer a village. Okay. Sheila Kate, it's not too late. You know, if you come to America now, within 5 years, you'll become a medical doctor.
She is actually she just got to the US. She just got to the US, so she's here.
Then we are going to chase her and pump her up until she becomes a medical doctor. I am too old now to become I will become a physician assistant when she becomes a medical doctor. No, but seriously, there are people who have come here, they've never done any sciences, but somebody was a nurse from Ghana, and she's now a medical doctor. Thank you, Sechofia, David Tamaklo. Sechofia, you're a blessing to me and to many others. Over to you, McRay.
Thank you so much. So, guys, if this is your first time, please just try to hit the subscribe button so that in case we post any new video or maybe we are going live any other time soon again, you will be notified about it. Many thanks for joining me today. So, now, Uncle Ben, let's get to University of Ghana, popularly known as Legon. I don't know whether if you also brag about the fact that it's the prestigious schools, is the premium school in Ghana and stuff like that. But what did you study in the University of Ghana?
So this is another lesson. So the dream of a pilot didn't pan out, right? I told you the dream to become a medical doctor. Then I changed subjects, sixth form, physics, geography, mathematics. And then I did well to enter University of Ghana. But what do I study? I didn't want to study some very hard, dry subject. I'm coming from a village, a farming community. I wanted something practical. And by then, I had to resort to statistics, mathematics, and computer science. And the reason, if there had been a piloting or pilot school in Ghana and I could get some guidance and support, then I could have gone trying for the piloting.
Okay.
But because of not having somebody to just say, well, you want to be a pilot? Okay, here is the guidance. So that in 3 years' time, you can go to Ethiopia to the aviation school and do this, but it's going to cost money. I didn't have anybody, not even any of my teachers, who will sit us down and say, look, if you're going to be a pilot, you either go to the Ghana Air Force or you have to find money and do the private training. It's expensive. And then some of us maybe would have tried to become some cargo handlers and from there rise to be pilots. So because I couldn't do that, but again, my dream was moving forward. I wasn't going back. I was in Legon, mathematics, statistics, computer science.
Okay.
Which is what I was. So again, the dream changed. The piloting, no guidance, no money. I have to confess, though, I did something we call COMSO, which is my own research. I don't know how. I sent some letters to some school in Oklahoma, and they said, oh, annual fee is $74,000, right?
You mean Oklahoma here in the US, right?
Oklahoma, I didn't even know where Oklahoma was, but in my little quest, with the little information I could find, I want to go to piloting school. So I'm looking in magazines, and if I see something resembling that, it's not like today you have Google and you have information at your fingertips. You can be in Agbozuma, you can be in Kukrubite, you can be in Kwanta or wherever, and on your phone, on your smartphone, you can begin to get information that I desperately needed, right? So I did apply, the whole thing came, they gave admission, but where am I going to get $74,000? My grandfather, great-grandfathers have never even seen a small fraction of that. So suddenly, so suddenly you refuse to be frustrated, but then you move on to the next stage in the journey. So now I can computers, statistics, mathematics, and I'm in Legon. But whilst I'm in Legon, I was avidly listening to the BBC to improve my English. And so God is merciful. God is gracious. And it was so good. If you came to my hostel in the University of Ghana, Mensa Sabah Annex B, which we called Okponglo because it was seen as the most outside of the halls. So I was in Okponglo. If you came to my room 305,
Wow.
In the University of Ghana, you would have seen posters of the BBC, because anytime you wrote something back and they read your letter on air, they sent you BBC pens, they sent you sometimes BBC t-shirts or posters. So if you came to my room, you will see that, oh, this guy, and through that, my English, spoken English, improved.
Wow. So which means that was it that bad? I mean, your utterances or how you speak the grammar, was it that bad? Because this is somebody who they've been jumping from
Yes.
class 1 to
Yes.
class 3,
yes,
even to other classes, even at middle school. You said that they jumped you over to other schools. I mean, how would you now say that your English was that bad? Please tell us about that.
This is what was happening. You could write brilliantly and pass exams, but oral English, spoken English, because you are in this farming community, you from school you're back speaking ever in the community, right? So the things you can write them, some of them you don't even know how to pronounce them. You can write and you're getting good marks, but the moment they ask you to speak, right, you're struggling. So again, this is the lesson. I want to drop a few lessons that have come up, which is in Kitasco, my spoken English, even though I was staying exams top 10, top 15, my spoken English was so bad, I got nicknames from the grammatical mistakes I made.
Did it?
Okay, don't even try that. May God forgive you. Okay, this man is trying to awaken some dead issues. No, but here is the thing. Seriously, when I was in Kitasco, passing my exams well. And then, by the way, by the time we finished O-level in Kitasco, there was oral English. It was a subject you had to pass, spoken English. But here is the thing. In Form 1 and 2, and I say this respectfully and with all humility, if a prophet had come to Kata Secondary School to morning assembly, and maybe we gathered in the sand, and this prophet, if he or she were to be genuine, would say, look, all of you guys here, all of you girls, all of you young ones, I am seeing one of you at a broadcasting station, not just in Ghana, but somewhere outside. McRay, I know my friends from Accra who were in Kitasco. They went to excellent preparatory schools. Their spoken English was so good. I wanted to speak like them, right? I would have even pointed out who the prophecy belonged to. I would have pointed out, no. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
That is why when I talk about God's grace, you have to, at this point, check out how come a young man who couldn't speak English very well in Kata Secondary School could end up not at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, but at the British Broadcasting Corporation in Bush House in London, speaking English and broadcasting in English to over 60 million people every week. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
I wasn't a candidate for that kind of prophecy if it had come. I knew there was a lady called Patience Diaba or Elsie Hosu or others from Accra. They spoken English just so nice, right? I'm good at the writing side of it. I would have pointed them out because when they spoke, that was good. So the point I am making is for any parent, for any brother or sister, if you have a younger one who is disciplined but struggling in certain ways, sometimes some of our people who are struggling have dyslexia. They are not stupid, but nobody discovered the dyslexia. I just needed somebody to take me through certain things and maybe put me in Accra for one vacation, and then I would come back also sounding like the others. So if you have a younger one who is disciplined, not staying too much on social media, not watching too much TV and wasting time, they really desire and they are determined to do well, don't write them off. My issue is encourage them as best as you can. Don't discourage them, because the person who is not speaking English well today can tomorrow be on the BBC. And that is my story. And it is not a story of my hard work and determination, but you have to see the grace of God. So that's point number one. My English was not good. Number two, I came to Legon and I studied mathematics, statistics, computer science. I did well enough, got a good degree. And then again, by that time, my regular connection with the BBC was there. And then I was kept on campus because I did computer science to help with computers were just coming in. And you have certain knowledge. So I ended up at the registry in Legon, which is the seat of the administration of the university. And I remember regularly having to go help Professor Akilakwa Sogah, whose secretary at that time was one Mrs. I think it's Ankwando. And sometimes there will be a problem with the computer. They will say, Ben, go and help them. So I'm there fixing things and doing little things. But I was enthusiastic. And my faith was also propelling me. And then during that period, I got a scholarship. Legon gave me a scholarship.
Was that at your level 100?
Masters and come back.
Was that at your level 100, or what time did your scholarship come in?
No. I finished and I was doing national service. I was doing national service in Legon.
Okay.
And I think there was a thinking among many of the professors that the computers were going to be the next thing. If somebody is good in it, let's help them to go and do well and then come back. So within my first year of national service, I did 2 years. I can't even remember the process, but I got a scholarship. All I needed was to find the right school. I got a scholarship to go do masters somewhere and then come back. And so now I'm looking for what school in the UK, what school in the US. And again, this is where I'm saying information, career guidance. Look, we have this fixed mind that, the best schools are only in the United Kingdom, in London, and 6 hours plane ride away. But there were bigger opportunities in the United States. We had a certain
that you never heard of.
Polonia. Yeah, we had this fixation with we think American education is a bit weaker compared to. That's how we grew up. We think, American exams are multiple choice, but British ones, you have to really prove that you are strong and tough, right?
Makes sense.
I'm telling you this. So I ended up getting a school, University of Glasgow, where I went to read my master's in information technology. And it was in the process of being there that gradually, again, the dream evolved. Remember, I was going to be a medical doctor, and then it moved to, chemistry is trying to torpedo my dream. So let me try and do piloting. I'm going to fly aeroplanes. And then when I did geography, physics, and mathematics in Mauli School in Ho, the aim was, but again, I had no help. And I'm not talking about financial help, just informational help. So the piloting, so from medical doctor, now we are going to think about this guy, village boy from Okavu. He can be flying planes over Okavu, and maybe when he's flying, people can be waving. So the piloting hasn't worked, and now I am in computer science, and I'm in Glasgow, and then somehow, this is again the issue of grace. Then the BBC approached me that, we remember you passed by London and you went up north to Glasgow. There is this football competition. Could you report on it for us? And then suddenly, I, who has never set foot in the studios of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation.
That is GBC.
GBC. I am suddenly connected to the BBC, and with no broadcasting background, except this issue of faith and grace and gratitude that I mentioned. Suddenly I'm picking up this new skill, and at a point morally you're torn between, oh, shouldn't you focus more on the IT side? But then there was a door opening with your passion. Again, the lesson here is that your passion can become your vocation, right?
Wow.
Yeah, something you are passionate about. You have your regular career, but you like cooking. Suddenly you become the biggest restaurateur because your passion has become your vocation or your profession. And so this is how
my
passion for radio, I can explain it further, that somebody who studied statistics, mathematics, computer science, ends up at the BBC broadcasting to millions of people every week, when he's never practiced journalism. He's never done broadcasting. But the thing is, when the BBC sees potential in you, they invest in you, they train you, and they encourage you. God just sent people my way who will see that I'm doing something well, and then the spark that I show, they will pour gasoline on it, and I will catch fire. And I can explain this further, but the lesson again is that the dream evolves. And I'm not saying don't have. There are some people who are determined. My whole life, all I want to be is an engineer. You can go and give them entrepreneurship money, but they say no, and they are hardcore like that. That's fine. But there are some of us, the dream will have to evolve as God gives us grace and gives us openings. As long as we are moving forward and upwards, to God be the glory, and let the grace of God speak for us.
Wow, this is an inspiring moment for me personally. One thing that you said that happened to be a key thing for me was when you said that you cannot be the candidate for that prophecy, but grace can make you a candidate for it. That is one thing. Because looking at the stories of some of the Bible characters, look at the people that God intentionally chose to fulfill his things. He never he didn't go for those who are so accurate, those who are the physique is strong, like it's like potentially they have the ability to do it. Look at Moses. God wanted to use Moses. Moses was a stammerer. He had problem with utterances, but at a point he was just, God, I'm not ready. But God says that, see, me myself, I will go with you. Abraham, all these people, they had issues with with themselves. They had issues with life, with everything. However, God decided to choose these people. So at a point, I was asking God that, why does it go for people, excuse me to say, with issues? And I got the understanding that so that we will not boast in whatever we have. And
who am I to boast? I can only boast about my I can only boast about my broken grammar from Kitasco, but don't say that again, please. Don't remind people of my broken grammar. I think Sophia is in Kenya. He will be there laughing. Some of you are listening to me. You have your own issues, but you are laughing at. And the way we say it in Eba is that Egbeze, which means your grammar, your spoken English was so bad that even things started shattering around you. So anyway, God is
my God, we can only just be here and say thank you. We can just be here and say thank you. I have a Uncle Ben.
Let me just, I will just say this quickly, and when I say this, and I know we can be intellectual, we can question God. We said, oh, he's being religious and this. For me, I just say three things. For this guy from the village who couldn't speak English to end up not in the GBC but the BBC, how do you translate? How do you explain it? For this guy who studied statistics, mathematics, and computer science to end up at the BBC and do well in broadcasting, how do you explain it? For this young man who had never set foot in a radio studio, it's not just like now that we have FM stations and studios are common. That time you have to be in GBC.
Yeah.
And for this guy who never set foot in GBC compound and then found himself at the BBC Bush House in London, how can you explain this? You can try intellectualize it. And again, I'm just saying to anybody who thinks that we talk about the grace of God. Yes, I worked hard. Yes, I looked out for opportunities. But there are people who worked harder. There were people in Ghana who were established broadcasters who deserved to be at the BBC with little effort. How did I, who didn't do any broadcasting or journalism in Ghana, end up at the BBC, and then with whatever hard work, faith, and prayer and perseverance, then get to the point of becoming a deputy editor? So I'm sharing these things just as my testimony. This is my story. And I'm not, everything I'm saying, you can find living people who can tell you, oh, I was in Kitasco with him when he used to break pot and didn't speak English. You can find people who knew. You can find Dr. Saji Gamali, and he will tell you, we were all studying hard to become doctors. He went on to become a medical doctor, but I diverted and evolved in my dreams. The piloting, they even told me, oh, this was one discouraging thing. In Maoli school, somebody said, oh, what is this, your geography, physics thing you're doing? I said, oh, I want to be a pilot. They said, oh, but you're wearing glasses. Pilots don't wear glasses. I don't know where. And this guy just busted. He just busted my balloon, you know?
Oh, Charlie.
And today I see pilots, they're wearing glasses.
They're wearing glasses. You see, career guidance. Career guidance. Because there's sometimes when I'm getting out of the flight, and then the pilots, they open their cabinet, and I see some of them trying to peep out to see. I see some of them with their glasses. I'm like, wow, hi man, how you doing? I mean, like, that feeling is good. It's good, but they told you that you're wearing glasses. You can't become a pilot.
I'm sure somebody listening to me here, you've heard this thing that once you're wearing glasses, forget about being a pilot. Anyway, God is merciful.
Okay, so I have a lot of let me see if you can get some comments. Somebody, Michael Tay. So he says it is well, there is still hope for us. So yes. And then someone says that mentorship and coaching is an indispensable aspect of our quest for academic or career success. Most of us don't get the chance to have mentors or coaches with similar career portfolios. Big ups, McRay. And Sajovia says, yes, it is so true, whatever Uncle is talking about. Ed Zuwanu says that God grace, so yep. And oh wow, Uncle, read this comment. He says that someone told me that for one to come and study in the US, that you have to be exceptionally brilliant. So, sir, I want to know if this is true. Wow.
It's a big fat lie from the pit of hell. Listen to me. You can even fail, but once you bounce back, you don't have to be exceptional. But if you are determined, you're going to work hard, you're not going to cheat, you're just saying, I'm going to apply myself, you will succeed, especially in the land of dreams here in the US, where somebody who is a car mechanic, and we can post this in the YouTube comment section. I will send you the story. Somebody who is just a car mechanic, I shouldn't say just a car mechanic. He's just become a medical doctor. A car mechanic here, African-American brother.
Wow. From working on cars, he's now working on human bodies.
I'm talking about older in age even. He was, by the time he was entering medical school, he was in his 40s. And we are going to post that story. I will send that story to you to post for anybody to check later. This I'm talking about here in America. I know of a Ghanaian woman who, together with the daughter, the woman was a nurse, gave birth to her daughter. The daughter entered medical school, and the mother, who is a nurse, also found a way to get into medical school. The two of them, mother and daughter, are now medical doctors here in either Florida or Texas. Again, I will post the link to these things because I don't want anybody to think that we are telling lies. I think the family name for the mother and daughter is it Kuvi or Kruivi? Whoever told anybody that you have to be exceptional, with a second class lower, right? A second class upper is good. But even with because some of us, we blossom much later in life. So you may not have performed very well in university, but look, this is what the Bible says, that a living goat is better than a dead lion.
Yeah.
And then another scripture says there is hope for a tree.
For the living. A tree,
Yes,
okay.
there is hope for
when
a
it's
tree.
cut down.
That even though it is cut down, right?
The
and
smell
the
of the water.
roots have at the scent of water, it will receive life and its shoots will bud again. If there is somebody here feeling down, or you think, oh, I don't even have money, I don't have this, you have something worth more than money. Your dream, your faith, your hope. I want to encourage you. I'm coming from a very poor, we didn't even know we were poor. Walking to school without shoes was what everybody else was doing. Okay? In fact, to the point where if somebody had brought a shoe, it was like excuse me to use the word, an encumbrance. You become so used to walking bare feet that by the time you started wearing shoes, it was a bit of a bother to start with. So what I'm saying is, and I am no better than any sister or any brother listening to us or going to watch this. I am pleading by the mercies of God beyond my words that whatever situation you are in right now, I pray that God will infuse you with a new dose of hope on this second day of the year 2025. Look at us. See what the Lord has done with us. And if he's done this for us and with us, forget about tribes. If somebody's talking tribes, forget about them. You stick to God. God is not looking at tribes. Okay? Kwame Nkrumah wasn't looking at tribes. And Nkrumah is at the core, because Nkrumah was looking beyond tribes and regions. He was looking at the whole of Africa. That's why I could be in South Sudan last year for 2 years, and I would tell the South Sudanese brothers and sisters that I am no different from you. We are one people. We are all Africans, and you are rich in this country. Whatever I'm doing at the UN is for your success. So I am just encouraging somebody, not with my own words, but with my testimony. See what the Lord has done.
Yeah.
I may not be super rich, but at least we've got a computer center in my village through the help of Mrs. Matilda Emisatha, Mr. Setfiachi, Sangu Dele, people from all regions of Ghana, Professor Raymond Atuguba, they all chipped in. And we just built this place. Now the girls and the boys are doing much better. They are passing for high school, which is presenting another problem anyway. Now that they pass, I'm having to
we'll talk about that one. We'll talk about that one.
A bit of my salary so that they can't stay in the village. You can't pass and stay in the village. Then you are defeating the purpose.
You must grow up. You must develop. Well, this is so beautiful. So I have another one saying that I also wanted to be a medical doctor, but I ended up pursuing actuarial science, and I'm looking forward to a master's in applied statistics. Let's see what my dreams evolves to. Such of your things, McRay, do you feel the presence? Yes, I do, brother. I do. Raymond Sogah,
it's all God.
Yeah, Raymond Sogah, that is actually my dad. My dad is watching. Kudos and hi to my dad. He says grace upon grace.
Amen.
So
Amen.
Frederick, that is the room finder, and KNUST says that I am just like a spark. People come my way just like gasoline. Okay, I think that's what that uncle said. So he was trying to reiterate what you said. Such of you again is saying that your story is such a blessing, uncle, and I agree with you. Ima says that God can use anyone if we hold on to him. That is good. So Richard Denling, this happens to be my sister's husband. He is also watching. He says, I have always admired Uncle Ben from afar. Oh, because of his good English. Wow. You see? Now somebody's admiring you because of your good English, Uncle Ben.
Can you imagine?
He's good.
When I was there selling fish for when I was there selling fish and breaking pots with English, where were they?
He wasn't there. Well, I have a lot of them. Thank you, sir. Somebody, Kingsley is saying that. Thank you, sir.
I know there are other things we can do. If there is a vote among your viewers and listeners, But
They've
if
been saying it.
I've
They've
talked
been
too
saying
much
it in
and
the
they are
comment
tired of
section.
me,
They've been saying it in the comment section that we want
okay,
Uncle to
then
get back. So Uncle, we'll have a second edition. I think the moment when we're out of this call, I think you have something to attend to. So when you have a time, we'll
yeah,
talk about the time and the day again, and then we'll have you come up, because this is just one question that we tackled from the things I sent you that I may want to look at. It's just one,
forgive me.
because all your journey, even we want to learn about your struggles. Like, I mean, moving from University of Ghana after your national service to UK, your admission requirement those days, your visa processes, the scholarship, how did you get it, and then you working with BBC, any challenges, you traveling to Pakistan, South Sudan, I mean, all those, I mean, even Haiti, reporting from that place. What were some of the things you've seen, and what necessitated you from, I mean, coming to the US now to stay here? All those journeys, students want to learn from that. And then if you know of any scholarship opportunity that a prospective student may want to explore, who wants to come here to study, maybe in the US or in the UK, we've not touched any of those things yet. So it means that the second session, only God can help us.
It is well, God's grace abounds. I am
Yeah.
just, listen, I'm just an ordinary village boy, grew up selling fish and farming maize, cassava, potatoes with my widowed
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
God's grace abounds. So let me not get carried away. I just want to thank everybody for indulging
Yeah.
us. May this year see us and greater grace in the Lord. May God be kind to you, whether you are so faithful to Him, you trust Him, or you believe Him. But let's just say provisionally, next Thursday, same time, you and I will gather here.
Guys, we want it. Guys, we want it.
Glory. To God be the glory.
Oh, we got it, guys. Uncle is coming back on Thursday. Guys. So keep your hope alive. I need to let Uncle go, but I want to tell you that it is a great thing to serve the Lord.
Yes.
See, it is a great thing. Do you guys know that song?
Yes.
Uncle, you know that song? It said, "It is a great thing to serve the Lord. It is a great thing to serve the Lord. It is a great thing to serve the Lord.
Walking in the light of God."
Oh, guys, on Thursday, we are back at 6 p.m. GMT. I'm going to have the opportunity to still host a man known as Mr. Ben Dotsei Malor back on set with me, and we have all your questions that we're going to be tackling that day. Uncle, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. I'll let you go when you get back from your assignment. Please, let's get in touch. We have a lot of things to talk about. Please, thank you so much. God bless you. I'll let you go now.
God bless us.
Bless you too. Woo! What a day for me, and what a day for you. It's been a wonderful time. It's been a wonderful session with everybody, with my host, who has been a blessing, and with you also hooked up with me. I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. If this is your first time, you just joined me, maybe on the YouTube channel, you are on Facebook too, please try to get on my YouTube channel and please try to hit the subscribe button. We still have about 45. Okay, I still have 45 people in total watching right now. Even now that I'm wrapping up the show, at least about 45 people who are still live with me. If you're on Facebook or you're just on YouTube, please get to my YouTube channel. It's McRay, Sogah, McRaySogah, McRay. A tip meaning that son of Ray, because my father's name is Raymond. Somebody is asking me, McRay, are you a pastor? My father is here. Daddy, what should I say? Am I a pastor? See, I'm a Christian, and I'm a strong believer of God. Whoever that I meet, I try as much as possible for my character to emulate the characteristics of Christ Jesus. If it is that what is called a pastor, I am one. Okay. So thank you guys for doing that. Somebody says that we should do what. Okay, I'm going to sing that song well for you again. Okay, all right. It says, it is a great thing to serve the Lord. It is a great thing to serve the Lord. It is a great to serve the Lord. walking in the light of God. All my new subscribers, I think what they know is that this guy is probably a broadcast journalist, he's a YouTuber, whatever it is, but I'm letting you know that I'm 100% Christian. I love God. My main ministry is through music and many other things. So thank you so much, guys. Please get to YouTube, subscribe, and keep it going. Keep it going. If you're a prospective student, we have a lot of things to talk about next time, and that is going to be a blessing to you. Once again, I am your humble servant, and my name is McRay. Sogah. I'll see you in the other session. And remember that God loves you. Jesus loves you. Happy New Year to you, everybody. Bye-bye.